So, Kimberly, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. Perhaps you can
Great.
share with us this case study.
Yeah. This happy guy in the picture in the middle, that is my dad. Uh, Marv is, oh gosh, he's late 70s now. And in early 2012, we really began to notice that he was having issues with remembering time frames or, when we got together last. Um, and he was even turned down for, he had applied for a long-term care policy, and they had done a kind of, I guess, a memory test of some sorts, and based on his results, he was turned down for that long-term care policy. So we then got him into a pretty well-known doctor down in, I think he's in Aurora, and he diagnosed Dad with advanced Alzheimer's in 2015. And so we knew at that point that we needed to probably make some changes, and Dad was just told, get your affairs in order while you can still kind of think, and just kind of prepare, because they were already thinking he was pretty advanced in 2015. So we did really change his diet. My mom is a pretty good cook, so that was helpful. She was able to really adjust things to where they were eating what would probably be described a little bit more as a paleo diet. There was a lot of healthy fats and clean proteins and a lot of vegetables. One of the things my dad really enjoyed was his soda. And that was one thing that had to go, just because of the amount of sugar and chemicals in that. So things like the sugars and the sodas, some of the grains and processed foods really had to be cut back. We also went ahead and there has been a lot of disputed, but still a lot of ties to mercury and mercury toxicity affecting the brain. And so in August of 2015, he went through with a good, I guess they call it a bio dentist of some kind, who was very careful with the removal of his fillings and replaced those in 2015. So that was another step that he took. And then at that time, we were able to do regular nutrition response testing with him to work on his supplements, and there's quite a list there of things that he took at different times. And also he was getting some periodic biofeedback. And my dad has always been active. He's been a runner and an athlete all his life. He reffed soccer games, I think, well into his 70s. So he's always been pretty active. But he managed to keep bike riding and walking. Now he's kind of down to just walking. The bike riding, he's not able to react quickly enough to make that a safe activity. So he still walks probably at least once a day. And then he does have a lot of interaction with his family. All of the kids and grandkids are probably within 3 miles of him, except for me. Carl and I are a little further away up here in Fort Collins. My dad and mom live down in Arvada. And at least up until the shutdown, he was still involved quite a bit with their church. He also working on memory recall exercises. So what they find a lot with Alzheimer's and dementia is people really struggle with remembering the more current events or activities, like what they've just eaten or what they did yesterday, but they can still really remember things further in the past. And so looking at pictures and going through memories, and my dad really enjoys music. And so that's something we always try to have going is music, because that's something he can still really relate to. He has never taken the recommended Alzheimer's medications, and he's still living at home. So this has been 5 years since he was diagnosed with the advanced Alzheimer's, and he's still at home. He definitely continues to have some issues and continues to decline, but we feel like it's been at a much slower pace than other people that we have been in contact with. Some friends of his diagnosed with Alzheimer's even later than he was passed away fairly quickly. And so we feel like he's been doing pretty well. And I love this picture. It was, he graduated from CSU, and this was when they had built the new stadium. We were able to take him back to see a football game there, and that's my little brother in the picture too. So that's a good memory for us. At this point, Dad knew it was a game. He still wasn't quite clear, or he wasn't really clear anymore on who was doing what and why, but he greatly enjoyed that experience. And just a couple weekends ago, Carl and I took him for a day in the mountains, and he still loves to be outside and in nature. And so I consider him a really good case study because he got to experience a lot of what we talk about tonight. One of the most recent supplements, and it's not listed right here on his list, but Carl mentioned the Oprima, and that is an omega-3 oil, a very concentrated form of omega-3s. And just recently I had taken that down for him to try, and my mom let me know that he, for whatever reason, he gravitates towards that one, and while he's having trouble taking supplements these days, he will usually take that one. And so that's encouraging because he's still engaged in life. He still knows who we are, even though he's not able to communicate very well anymore. He does know who his family is, and he's still a funny, happy guy a lot of the time. So that's just a little case study on something very close to us. And for me, it's more personal than just my dad, because we have both Alzheimer's and dementia on both my mother and father's sides of the family, with many members of the family. And so this is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I will continue to work on all these things myself. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you. He's a precious guy, and I've been so grateful that we were able to help and test and supply these to really slow down this trajectory, and it has been just huge to see. So we're really, really grateful the standard process, and that we were able to get these remedies and help people. Brain injury has always been something very personal to me. I've worked with a lot of people with head injuries and brain injuries, and I just want to let people know that we have a lot of great tools here for you, and I can do those brain resets, the nerve resets, and I can do the biofeedback, and I can help make recommendations based on what your body shows that it may need. So we would love an opportunity to help you and to work with you. We really appreciate you taking time to watch this video. We ask that you'll please share it with others that might have these kind of questions and concerns. Give us a call. We're always happy to talk with anyone about what's going on with their health, and we would look forward to seeing you and serving you. Thank you. Thank you for attending.